In this world there are hundreds of modern or ancient cases that have never received an answer, many of these under circumstances that are almost always suspicious or of paranormal origin. This will be what we will talk about next in Unsolved Mysteries.
Hello, welcome to our special program today in a new episode of Unsolved Mysteries. We have the case of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. And before we start this episode, it is sponsored by Coca-Cola, the magic of being together. Thank you Coca-Cola for sponsoring this episode of Unsolved Mysteries. But first of all, we have a very special guest, my good friend Emiliano. In case you didn't know about this case, it was an international passenger flight that disappeared on March 8 of 2014, carrying 200 people. From the moment contact with the aircraft was lost, a search and rescue operation were initiated and developed, which has been considered the longest in history, as well as one of the most difficult and costly investigative and search operations in aviation history. What do you think about this case, Emiliano?
There are many theories about this. One says that the plane was stolen by possible terrorists since two of passengers on this plane were traveling with a stolen passport and were Iranians. It is also said that the plane landed or crashed in some remote place, such a desert or an island without many inhabitants. But for me, the theory of the suicide is the one that convinces me to the most. It says that the kidnapping would not have been done by someone outside the plane crew, but by one or several members of it. That idea that one or both pilots hijacked the plane to commit suicide at sea is another hypothesis that would help explain the mysterious disappearance of the plane's erratic course.
I knew that also in 2016, the FBI found that the plane pilot made flight simulations that ended in the Indian Ocean. The only strange thing is that it's known that the pilot did not have a mental problems or anything, so it could be that someone else forced him to crash the plane.
Yes, but there are also some crazy theories, especially in those cases where there are more questions than answers. Like they were abducted by aliens, or it is also said that is what shot down by the United States Army. What the fuck? But in this case, you also have to always think of the poor families of the victims, without knowing where their loved ones are. Imagine what horror. It's a crazy situation. Poor people.
What an interesting case, right? Maybe one of these days when we are older, out of nowhere will appear on the news that this case was solved and that they finally found that plane. Or maybe we will never know. This is all for today's episode, people. We sincerely hope that you like it. See you in the next episode of Unsolved Mysteries. This podcast was my idea. I love mysteries and interesting cases that cause me a lot of intrigue. My loved ones motivate me to make this happen. Let's see the next one. This one says, I love the program. All the cases you talk about give me goosebumps. But even so, I really enjoy listening to you. Thank you so much. The next person says, how do you sleep after doing the program? All this is creepy. When I hear them, I grab myself into my sheets so that nothing happens to me. Don't worry, we are sure that nothing will happen to you, but we are glad that the program transmits all these emotions. The last but not least person says, I thank you very much for the effort in this program. I adore your charisma and the way of telling things. I know that much success awaits to you. I am glad to be here supporting you. Oh, that's so touching. We thank you for being here, listening to us, and supporting this project. Now that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening. See you the next time.